Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. As you can tell, we've had some decay occur on this bridge, which is intentional. We're trying to build a kind of decrepit or decaying dwarf structure here. Not a stronghold, but like a supply barn type thing, as well as a path and some docks and stuff. I haven't figured out exactly how many docks I'm going to have, but probably at least one more. So it would be roughly parallel to that one. Oh, actually, I could even use some of these blocks that I've already got. What you're going to do with all those blocks going to build some docks. But, you know what? Dang it. Putting those in the wrong places is not as helpful. You know, one thing that comes up sometimes when I'm playing Minecraft is that I don't have all the materials I need. And that's usually kind of okay, because I can just run off camera real quick and inconvenience myself. But not necessarily, whoops, that's not how that's going to go. Let's get some more blocks and fix this. So, this has to be a little taller here. But what I'm going to have to do in the future, or I guess in the immediate future, is go gather all those things in advance, because we're going to have a very special guest visiting us later today, and I don't want to have to like run off and grab more blocks while he's here. So, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do a little bit more work, kind of just around here. I really like this fallen section, but I'm thinking maybe I should sink it down even further, now that I'm looking at it. Well, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make some preparations for our guest. Time skip.
And with one pickaxe, I mined like over 4,500 diamonds that I used to build the diamond with.
Oh, wow. Yeah, these things, they go a long way. Mending and unbreaking together, yeah. And fortune 3 and efficiency. Wow,
Absolutely.
I'm thrilled. This will go a long way toward rebuilding my kit. If you don't mind, we can proceed this way. I want to show you what I'm working on today.
Alrighty.
Cool. So, I've got a farm out here, which you said you've never actually visited.
No, I don't think so.
So, I've got kind of a farm inspired by the film Field of Dreams. And
Okay.
have you seen it?
If you build it, they will come.
Indeed, you know, go the distance, all that. So, let's see, let's come out this gate here. And I'll go ahead and show you kind of what I'm working on. I've started off with the field and the farmhouses and the barns and all that stuff. And I've been pretty happy with how it came out so far. But I realized...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this way. No worries.
I got turned around a bit.
It happens.
Yes. The field, the baseball diamond.
Yeah, it doesn't get
Really
more
good.
Field of Dreams than this about. But what I realized was that the edge of this plains meets the ocean out here, and it doesn't exactly look great. So I started putting up a little bit of a stone wall around it, and kind of realized that maybe I needed to keep going with that idea. So, you see, I started with this seawall here, and Wells' dwarven base is just over the mountains there. So I was thinking, like, maybe this was some sort of old dwarven something. I hadn't figured out exactly what. And I realized maybe I should create, like, the remains or foundation of an old storehouse here.
Like some ancient ruins.
Yeah, like part of this might be swept away. You know, this dock here is kind of got some broken pieces there. Dang it. One thing I was thinking, so I've got some extra supplies over here, if you want to grab some blocks. Here we go. As well as some night vision potions. Because those are helpful when you're dealing with stuff that might be potentially underwater.
Okay, and I got to thinking about some things, and I got a few things that might help. I've got some mossy stone brick, mossy cobble, and some cracked stone brick. Cracked might lend more, especially to the old look of things.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've got a bit of that in the chest here, but if you want to just toss stuff in there, we can actually kind of bring this with us. I was figuring...
There you go.
Ah, thank you. I was figuring that this here was kind of like an old lookout for the harbor master, and so I just kind of set up a rough bit of square here, but I was thinking maybe there should be some other foundational pieces like wedged in the ground or something, kind of scattered. I don't know. I'm not good at building a lot of old things. You know what I mean?
I know the feeling.
It's very different from how I would normally approach this stuff. Oh, careful, zombie coming.
Oh.
There we go. So, yeah, so I was figuring this over here would be some sort of harbor master's hut eventually. And I thought about like having this piece as like a collapsed part of the path here, just having it straight up fall down. I've sunken in some pretty deep paths, or not paths, posts here. This is where the night vision really comes in handy, is seeing through the water.
Yeah, like some like the supports for an old bridge or some such.
Precisely. So I figure, though, the next thing to really start working on is kind of the foundation for what might have been at one point a storehouse for whatever was going to get loaded onto the ships or what have you. So that's, I figure, probably going to be a pretty big rectangle for simplicity's sake. That would normally be how you'd approach a problem like that, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see. I figure, like, maybe most of this island at one point, like, this should have been mostly the storehouse. And I'm trying to think, like, how much of it should be... I don't want to just pave the whole thing, you know? But maybe think about where the beams or the supports were for it or that sort of thing. Oh, hello, another zombie. Whoops. Yeah. Man.
Well, let's see. Well, they're just trying to ruin everybody's fun.
Yep, they are coming out in droves. We built it, they came.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the path would be, because there's no reason that stuff would ever need to go directly from the farm onto the ships. So it doesn't necessarily matter if the storehouse blocks this path's access to the farm, I guess.
Yeah, you'd have probably a different pathway. The stuff from the farm would go straight to a warehouse, and then the warehouse would handle the shipping and whatnot.
Yeah. So if we wanted to have the kind of foundational, like, cornerstones, like, one of them might be here. Well, actually, that's probably too far out, because we don't want to necessarily drive a huge post into the ground on this side here, or into the water. So maybe if this is one corner, and we'll move this one back. Let's see, maybe here. And I was thinking that, similar to the rest of this, it would be built up on some sort of kind of pillars or whatnot, or posts driven into the ground because they expect water to wash underneath it during storms, you know?
Yeah, you'd have to have a good solid foundation for something like that.
Yeah.
Anything close to the water, particularly in stormy situations.
So, yeah, okay, so something like this. And then for these other, for the other two corners, I don't want to necessarily... I've already got this modern art piece here that I built on this island way before I had this idea. And I don't want to rip it out. I'm fine with, like, shearing out some of this dirt or whatever. But thinking... Let's see. If we're going to go with one of these pillars here, and then we kind of come this way... Maybe we don't want to go much deeper necessarily than, say, here. And this kind of shows, too, how some of this might have been washed away over time. Oh, man, I cannot keep anything in alignment. Yeah, I'm figuring having some tumbled wall pieces, like, maybe embedded into the ground even, partially, like... maybe get more cracked stuff here. as well as possibly some support posts. From, like, if you think about halfway between these two big pillars here, they might have had, or partway between them, they might have had some kind of wall, something to help just kind of generally anchor the structure.
Broken bits of wall, half of something under it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those, to some degree, less is more type things, because we want it to look overgrown. You know, you want to be able to see where there was something here.
Like where there was something, yeah.
Yeah, but...
So you see bits and pieces of stuff, like maybe a half-buried post and things like that.
Exactly.
It's hard to know exactly what's right for something like this. Is why I've always had. I've never been really good at this sort of thing, so.
Oh, that's fair. I'm just glad to have company while I flail about and place blocks, you know. So.
Yes.
But yeah, just having a few posts sticking out here and there. Because this isn't going to be super visible or anything from the house up there. It just, when people fly over or take boats through or what have you, I figured it'd be nice to have kind of something that you could see. I'm going to probably grab another night vision potion and dive down there and try to place some of the segments of the broken bridge here. Like, just kind of place them on the ground. I don't know. Oh, looks like half slabs do not mix well with being underwater, apparently.
No, because they're going to take up a whole block space.
Yeah. Okay.
That goofy little half air pocket.
Yeah, lesson learned there. I'm not sure how often people will be coming past here with potions of night vision or whatever, but it adds to the general
Probably
feel.
It's not too common.
The only time it's going to show up is in this video. But you know what? People are watching this video right now. Well, in
That's right.
context, so I'm happy.
They're watching because they have good taste.
And excellent vision. I'm not sure how much more it needs, kind of. It's such a simple kind of core concept.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking maybe having what were some stairs here, kind of just to show that this used to go upward. I feel like that works. It ties in well with these pillars being kind of ripped out.
Well, stairs, perhaps part of the walls of the warehouse collapsing and falling out.
Oh,
that sort of thing.
You know, that's actually true too. Maybe having a segment kind of like this. Just kind of like that.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit coming down. Something like that.
Well,
you wouldn't necessarily have a whole lot of it, but just enough remnant to know that there was something.
Well, I don't know that we'd want to have it go that low, because if the idea was that for the water, like in storms, to sweep under the building. Like,
yeah, you're right.
And then maybe even having something like that really kind of sells that this was once a window.
Yeah.
And just like another one right here, maybe. It's a little taller than I really want to get. I don't want to go any higher than that on this, because I don't want it to be too much of an eyesore from the house. But I feel like that's...
Yeah, well, I would say just offhand that even if you went a little bit higher, you'd probably be fine. Because of how far this is from the house. I mean, if you were right up in the backyard, it would be different. But this far out, you could get away with a lot.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, well, this is come together quite nicely. Do you think of anything else that we're really missing?
Not especially, because like you said, you don't want to have too much of anything. And right now, I'm afraid to put anything down because I wouldn't want anything to go too far.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I agree with you. This looks like it was intentionally built and then destroyed, and then unintentionally destroyed. I'm not. I'm a little uncertain about some of the symmetry on this. I might actually just sweep that off there, but yeah, I think that's a little better.
Yeah. The only thing I wonder about is would it be that high off the ground,
Well,
or what?
yeah. So like well, if the floor of it, maybe let's even have like a little piece of the floor right there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you got to keep in
And then
mind.
the rest of it can be accounted for by ground washing away over the years.
Yeah, so the idea is that the other pieces of the floor and the roof and whatever fell onto the ground here. But that was why I put in these
Yeah.
stairs kind of here. The idea is that
Uh-huh.
the storehouse would be at the same level as the farm up there.
Okay, yeah.
So
That makes sense.
so yeah, it'd
And
be
then the
easier to load
coastline
them.
changing over the years and storms and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot can happen in a few centuries. So cool.
Quite a bit.
Well, thank you so much, TFC, for joining me for this episode, and thanks again for the pickaxe you gave me at the beginning. This is a wonderful gift that I will hopefully not immediately look at an Enderman over there and die and lose. That was a close one. Right in my crosshairs, practically. So, yep.
All right.
Anything you'd like to say to the viewers?
Have a good one, everybody.
And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.